What's up everyone, this is Flash from Flash Hobbies, and today we're going to be doing an installation video on the eBay bead blocks. So this video is primarily just to show you the installation process of the bead locks. It's not very hard, to be honest. If you've never worked with bead locks, this is a good video for you. If you have installed bead locks, then hopefully you can give me some pointers and maybe I'm doing something wrong or it's something that I can improve on. Now I know you can use a handheld driver, but that's fine. I don't do enough of these to justify buying one. I'm okay just doing it by hand. And it also keeps your costs down because most likely if you're doing one of these bead lock builds for, whatever build you're doing, then you're probably trying to save as much money as you can as well. So if you guys are interested in these, I did do a review on these not too long ago. I'll leave a card here for you guys to check out that video if you want to see that before we do the installation. Before you start this project, you're going to need just a few little tools. So there are 3 different sizes that are on this one. You're going to need a 1.5, a 2.0, and a 2.5 millimeter hex driver. Reason being is because your 1.5 is going to be on the outer ring, your 2.5s are in here, and then your 2 are the ones in the back. So if you don't have those, you can get some pretty cheap Allen wrenches from like Harbor Freight, Walmart, something like that. But that's just going to make it that much harder to do these. These do make a big difference. So as you guys can see, here's the finished wheel that I've already done. As I stated in my previous video, this build I wanted to do a red and black scheme, and I liked the wheels, but I didn't like the rings being matte black, so I did order these red ones as well. To start off, we'll go ahead, they all come like this, they come pre-assembled for you a little bit already. So we'll go ahead and take off the bead lock ring that I don't want. And then just make sure to have your screws in a safe place. I have mine on this mat, they don't really go anywhere, but you can get yourself a cup or a magnetic mat if you want to do it that way. So the way that these work, these are 3-piece bead lock rings, which in reality they're 4-piece if you count the hub, but traditionally you're going to put one of these in through the rear. This is going to be in the middle of your tire, and then that's your front plate. And what I like to do is usually I'll put this ring in first. It doesn't really matter which way you put it in. Just keep note of the way your tread is going to go on your truck. Some of them don't matter. As in this case, if I do it this way or this way, you're generally going to get the same pattern, but there's some wheels, for example, like these. You'll have wheels like these where traditionally you don't want to put one in one. Just make sure you keep track of that and make sure that all your tread is going to go the correct way. So again, I don't want to use this one. If you want to use your original ring or that's all you have, then it's going to be the same steps either way. So we have our ring in the middle, so you can see. Here we're going to put our back piece in, and then our front piece is going to go in as well. Now what you want to do is you want to match up one of these back parts to the front plate. Now it's going to take a little bit of squeezing. Best thing I like to do is just force it in here so that it's sitting in loose, and then you start to push from the back. I like to establish my back ring first. For me, that makes it easier. So once we have this back ring in, we're going to go ahead and use this 2 millimeter, put it in through there, and then we'll start to match it up. As you can see there, it made contact. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and start threading that in, but just keep in mind that you don't want to do it all the way just yet. Just enough for it to grab, and then we're going to do the opposite side. Now the reason why we do this is because you want to keep a nice even pressure, and you don't want to put more pressure on one side than the other. Alright, now that we have all 5 in there, now we want to go back in and just tighten it. Alright, and now your back is done. See how that looks pretty good? Okay, the next thing we're going to do now is the front. So with the front, as you can see here, we're gonna sit the lip of the tire, which is this one, and we're going to sit it on the inside. Make sure that there's nothing stuck like this right here. Yeah, make sure it's all inside. Okay, everything's looking good. Now, depending on what tires you're using, it's going to be hard to compress, but not always. these will be evenly spaced. So if you can start one on this side and one on the opposite side, you'll see that it'll start to catch pretty quick. So for this next one, you're going to use a 1.5 millimeter. You're going to start with just one of the holes, and then what you'll do is you'll try to match it up. And once you match it up, you're going to have to put some pressure in there and then just start turning. And what we'll do on this one is we'll do it about halfway. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Same thing, you're just going to use your 1.5 millimeter, and we're going to put it in about halfway. So we'll put it in through there. And you can see the holes matching up. So if you can get 2 or 3 that match up, then usually you're on the right path. And again, just put some pressure in there about halfway, and then just make sure that your tire is seated on the inside. Sometimes you'll be grabbing it and it'll pull it out, so you don't want to do that. And then we'll do another one on the corner up here. And it should get easier as you put more screws in, just because there's already pressure from the other screws. So the important thing here is, again, you want the even pressure. Once we do this one, we're going to go ahead and tighten all of these, and that'll give us a good base for the rest of the wheel. And at this point as well, it's up to you. Some people like to use thread lock, red or blue. I don't. I've never really had any issues with these screws backing out before, so that's definitely at your discretion. Just remember, if you use a red one, that's pretty hard to get off. And then usually you have to heat up the red ones just to get the thread lock to come loose, and you don't want that because you can potentially melt your tire. Alrighty, so we've come to the end of our video. So one thing to keep in mind with the eBay beadlocks is don't be scared. Once you put all of your screws in, you're actually going to have like anywhere from 1 to 4 extra screws. They do throw in some extra ones. I think it's just maybe they've had issues in the past and it takes a while to ship them to you, so they just go ahead and send you extra ones. But that's the second wheel. It's all nice and done. It should take you around, depending if you're taking your time, you get distracted, yada yada, 5 to 10 minutes per wheel. It's not too bad, but just do set aside about 30 minutes to 40 minutes to get them done. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions regarding this installation, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer anything for you guys. If not, hit that like. Don't forget to hit subscribe with notifications, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.